Welcome to the Guided Expressions podcast with Martin Williams, the place to learn and be inspired to live your best life. Here is your host, Martin Williams.
Hey everyone, my name is Martin Williams. Thank you for tuning in to the Guided Expressions podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast in the description box below if you're listening on YouTube, and subscribe to the podcast if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcasting service. Again, thank you for tuning in. And today what I wanted to talk about is bringing your life back into order. Recently, I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida, and the move was, for the most part, pretty smooth. There were some hiccups along the way, but with anytime that you're changing locations, anytime you're changing states, anytime that you're moving from one part of the country to another part of the country, it's going to shift the balance in your life. You know, things are just going to be different, and it's going to take time for you to adjust to your new surroundings. You know, you have to adjust to going to a different grocery store, a different gas station, different mechanic. Your children are going to a new school. If you're changing jobs, you're going to probably be going to a new job. I didn't change jobs, but for a lot of people who move, that's a reality. You're changing the people that you hang around. You're changing the place you worship in many cases. Your family, close friends aren't going to see you as much as they used to. These are all realities. And so it can be very challenging to stay focused or to stay on a routine and a plan, and that's certainly what happened with me. I was on a good plan. I was doing my thing, doing my daily disciplines. I was reading, I was writing in my journal. I was, recording a lot more often. I was doing all these cool things that really helped me perform at my highest. And once I moved, I would say about 80 to 90% of it just stopped because all my energy was focused on the move and helping myself and my family adjust to this new place. And, when the pressures of life get increased, it's very easy for us to fall back into old destructive habits. And I could say, most certainly that was an issue for me. So, one of the questions that you have to ask yourself and ask yourself often is, what do you do to bring your life back into order? Well, first of all, you have to realize that it is out of order in the first place. And that's, not always the easiest thing for a person to do. Sometimes the hardest thing for a person to do is to admit that their life is completely out of whack and, they are at the center of that. It's easy to blame other people for your life being out of order. But the reality is it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to bring our lives back into order, to rediscipline ourselves. If you were doing certain daily practices and you stopped for whatever reason, one of the first steps is to go back to doing those daily practices. Now, you may not pick them all back up at the same time, but eventually you will begin to pick them back up one by one. And you can do that by just saying, this week I'm going to start writing in my journal again. Or this week I'm going to start going for my morning run. Maybe it's been a few months since you've been on a run. And so you decide, okay, I'm going to go back on my morning run this week. And then next week, it could be that, you decide that you're going to, start reading the Bible 10 minutes every morning before you start work, or praying for 10 minutes, or sitting in the silence. However you prepare your spirit, or get tuned into your spirit for the day. Okay? All of these are decisions that you have to make, but you will begin to bring your life back into order, bring your life back into a more disciplined state. One place where a lot of people falter is financially. Sometimes you spend so much energy getting through the day, at the end of the day, you don't feel like going back through your spending and writing down your spending or planning out your spending for the week or for the month. But virtually every financial advisor will tell you that if you don't keep track of your finances, they're going to get away from you. So it's important that you bring your finances back into order. And the way you do that is by creating a budget and also creating a spending record so you know exactly what's going out versus what's coming in. It's all about bringing awareness back to those core practices, those daily practices that we, I certainly talk about them a lot, but it's really one of those things that it doesn't seem like it makes a huge difference, but trust me, it does. It really, really does. Because, when your life is out of order, you feel more exhausted, you feel more overwhelmed. Because, let's say that you have a messy room and you have, let's say also that you have things at work that are past due or things that haven't been dealt with. All those things will make you feel more tired than you actually are. And the reason that you feel exhausted is that, we were created for order. Like, we were created to have order in our lives. We were created to have discipline in our lives. And when we don't have discipline, we act adversely. And really what it is, it's not congruent to how we were made, okay? So it's important that you decide, okay, I got to bring my life back into order. Okay, I've got to start, keeping my budget and really just staying within that budget, tightening up my spending, tightening up my diet. Maybe I haven't been eating according to a plan, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to start eating according to a plan. I'm going to start ordering my relationships. I'm going to stop spending time with people that really add nothing to my life. But I'm going to start, investing in positive, life-giving relationships. I'm going to start investing more in my family, spending more time with my family. Because, what I've been telling myself is I don't have any time. I don't have time to spend time with my kids. I don't have time to spend time with, my spouse or what have you. And all of these really are fallacies because, the time goes somewhere. Okay, so, if you're not spending time with your family, you're spending time somewhere else because we all get the same 24 hours. So what are you doing with those 24 hours every day? Part of bringing your life back into order is taking inventory of how I'm spending my time. If you really got honest with yourself and took 7 days and really spent time to figure out where that time is going, you would be amazed how much time you waste. And that's for the vast majority of people in this world. You would be amazed how much time you waste at work every day. Or waste in, watching TV. I'm not saying don't watch TV. I'm certainly not saying that. But don't spend 4 hours a day watching TV, especially if there are things that you want to do, if there are things that are important to you that for whatever reason you haven't gotten to as of yet. When you really get serious about ordering your life, reordering your life, getting your life back into order, you're going to realize within a very short period of time how important it is, and things will begin to improve. Things will begin to get better. They just have a way of doing so. So I want to encourage you to do that this week. What 3 things have you stopped doing because of a life event? Or, just because you've kind of gotten a little bit out of whack, out of joint, okay? And decide that within the next 3 weeks, you're going to start doing those things again and really bringing your life back into order, you will find that your life will improve and improve greatly. My name is Martin Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Guided Expressions podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify to get all the latest content from Guided Expressions. No one builds a house without a blueprint, so why are you trying to build your dream life without one? That's how the Blueprint course was created. The Blueprint course is for people who know they were meant for more. Created by Martin Williams, the Blueprint is a streamlined way to help you create the life you've always wanted. Get instant access now by clicking the link in the description box or going to guidedexpressions.com/blueprint.